Hey, what's up guys, back again with another video in the Java series. This time I'm going to show you about the random class.
Gotta pack my bags and hit the road. I don't wanna be here anymore. I can't hold on. I gotta let go. But first.
Alright guys, so last episode we went over the calendar and then of course the date object and the Gregorian calendar. Well, the last two episodes. But this episode I'm going to show you about the random class, or object, whatever you want to call it, which is able to generate random primitive data types. It's really cool. But yeah, it's pretty much good for generating random numbers. That's what people usually use it for, but you can use other data types also, like, the Boolean. But let's just jump right into it, okay? So what you do to generate a random number or a random data type, you would just create a new random object, okay, of the random class. So random, we'll call it R. Random R is equal to, let's import random, is equal to new random. Okay, and so what this is going to do is create a new random object for you here. It's going to be called R, of course. And as you can see here, it's going to be from the utilities package within Java. And so, yeah, that's another utility that we can use within our Java programs, right? So, yeah, we can use this alone just to generate, some random stuff. We can generate a Boolean, a long, an integer, doubles, floats, longs, a bunch of cool stuff, right? So let's try generating a random integer. So let's just print it out because it's going to return an integer when we call it. So r dot next integer. So it's going to generate the next integer, the next random integer. Okay, so let it run, and it's going to print it out. It's running here, and here's our random integer: 11443021184. Okay, big number, but that's our random integer, and we can keep running it, and we're going to get pretty much a new number every time. So that's pretty cool, right? So we can do integers. We could also do, let's see here, we can do booleans if we want to. Next boolean, pretty interesting. Oops, well, I put a long by accident, but we can do longs too. Longs are really big numbers. As you can see here, that's a very big long. But yeah, let's try a boolean now. And of course, it's going to be a new number every time, so that's why it's random. It's not actually random, it's called pseudorandom, meaning that, the numbers are basically generated from what's called a seed. And if you have the same seed every time, there's a chance that you might get the same numbers that you got before. So if you want a truly random number generator, then you would specify a different seed within the random parameter here, okay? But I'll show you that towards the end so we can work with that, okay? But anyway, that's how you generate a boolean. So let's run it again so we can see if we get another value. We got false again. Now we got false again. Let's try and get true. And there we go, we got true. It's pretty cool, right? Let's try doing a float value, or let's do a double. Doubles are interesting. Double like that. And with a double, it's only between 0.0 and 1.0, okay? That's the range for a double, 0.0 through 1.0. That's the bounds for it, okay? As you can see here, we get a really precise number, meaning it's got a lot of decimal values in it, digits in the decimal value range. So yeah, it's a very big number. It's not big, but it's big in terms of the digits, right? So anyway, that's how you generate a double, but we can also do floats if you want to. Next float, and it's just pretty much every primitive data type, right? Of course, the string is not a primitive data type, so we cannot generate random string sequences. That doesn't even make sense for this. But yeah, that's how you do that. But one thing for the integer method here, for next integer, we can see that we have a parameter here. It says int bound, okay? That means that we can provide what's called a bound for the next integer method here, meaning that we can limit how high the number can go to, okay? So if we set our next integer limit, our bound, to 5, we can see that it can only generate numbers 1 through 4. 5 does not count, only 1 through 4, okay? So no matter how many times you run this, it will not go to 5. It will not go to 0. It's just 1 through 4, I believe, right? Oh yeah, 0 counts actually. I might be wrong. Sorry about that. But yeah, 0 counts, so 0 through 4 then, alright? So yeah, but not 5, I'm pretty sure, okay? So anyway, let's set it to 100, and then it's going to generate every number 0 through 99. And boom, yeah, so 69, pretty cool, right? So that's how you limit a integer, but you can only do it with an integer. You can't do it with any of the other ones. So sorry about that, but that's how that works in case you want to ever generate a random number between, a certain range, okay? So that's actually something that people use often within their programs, so you probably are going to come across this sometime in your coding career. So anyway, that's pretty simple, right? That's how you generate random numbers. But in Java 8, there was 3 methods added to this random class here. It's called doubles, integers, and longs, okay? So what these will do is generate a stream for all the numbers that will be generated, okay? So basically, it's just going to output continuously in a stream all the different numbers that will be generated from this random seed here. And of course, it's just using a default seed because we haven't provided our own seed. But basically, what it's going to do is print out all the various, random numbers continuously. Okay. So let's try using one of these streams. So we can go ahead and do something like this: r dot ints, right? So ints is one of the, as you can see here, it returns an int stream. So let's try printing out the int stream. So we could do that by doing int stream dot for each, and inside of this for each statement, we could simply do system out dot out, and then print line. It's kind of weird looking, but this is how you do it. Looks like we have a problem here. Cannot be applied to reference. I think, wait, hold on. Oh, I did the wrong thing. I meant to do for each, not to array, so sorry about that. So for each, and then now what that's going to do is print out the value of each thing inside the stream, okay? As they're generated, it's going to print out each one within the stream, okay? As the numbers are generated. So as you can see here, it's running. And we're just going to get a continuous loop of all the different numbers that will be generated from this random class, okay? Or object, whatever you want to call it. And so you can see here it just goes on forever because it's just going to be continuously generated. But that's pretty cool, right? But also there's a option you can have here. So Control P, we can see that we can limit the stream size. So let's set the stream size to 5. So it's only going to be able to generate 5 numbers basically, okay? So stop and rerun. So yeah, it's going to generate 5 random numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it, right? So that's how you do that. You can limit it. So that's how you do that. But now let's show you the last thing I want to show you for this, which is going to be the seeds. And like I said, it's using a system called pseudo-random generation, okay? So it's not going to be completely random in terms of the numbers that are being generated, because the random object here is using what's called a seed to generate the number, which is basically, and there's an algorithm that generates these numbers here, and it uses a seed to generate these numbers, okay? It's just a code that, like a random number that it uses to generate the values, okay? And so if you want it to be truly random every time, if you want truly random numbers to be generated within your every time you run the random program, okay, you would need to use a different seed every time. So we can provide a seed this way. If we want to specify a seed up here, we can do Control P, and we can see that it's asking for a seed, which is a long. So we can just type in any random number pretty much and put an L on the end because there's a long. So now that's a different seed than there's there before default. So then we get some random numbers. I mean the numbers are going to be random, but of course it's not completely random because it's pseudo-random. It's kind of hard to explain. So as you can see here, because we have specified a specific seed, it's going to generate the same numbers every single time. So if we go ahead and continue to run this, we're going to get the same numbers, right? The same 5 numbers in the stream. So if we go ahead and change the seed, we'll get a different set of numbers. And boom, we get these numbers now. So if we run this again, we'll get those same numbers because we're using the same seed, right? So there's a little trick that we can do to make sure that it's a random seed every single time, so we can make sure we have random numbers. It's by getting the current milliseconds of the date, so the current time basically, right? So system, capital S, so system dot current time in milliseconds. Okay, so what this is going to do is return the number of milliseconds for the current time, right? And of course, like we know from 2 episodes ago, the date uses milliseconds, and the milliseconds increase every single second, every single millisecond, obviously because it's milliseconds. But it's just continually increasing, so the number is going to change every single millisecond. So that means that every time we run this, it's going to be a different seed because it's generating a different number. It's going to have a different set of milliseconds, right? So hopefully that makes sense. If we go ahead and run this again, it's going to have a different set. Now if we run this again, it's going to have a different set, right? Because the milliseconds is continuously changing for your time. So that means that you're going to have a different seed every single time, meaning that you're going to have a different set of random values, okay? So I know that's a lot to run through, but it hopefully makes sense for you. If you have any questions about it, you can ask me in the comment section below. But we can do more than ints, by the way. We can do doubles. So if you want a random set of doubles, we can do that, or 5 doubles in this case. So we can do that. Of course, we can take the stream size off, you know that. And then, of course, besides doubles and integers, we have floats. Oh, wait, what was the last one? It's not floats. Oh, it's longs, not floats. So if you want a random set of longs, we can go ahead and run this. And now we'll get a different set of longs, right? So we get these massive numbers. But anyway, hopefully that makes sense for you. We're just creating a random object from the random class, and then we're generating, random numbers, right? Random booleans, random numbers, random floats, doubles, anything you want, integers. And of course, if you want it to be truly random, I would recommend that you use system.currentTime in milliseconds because that'll generate a random seed every single time you run the program, okay? So anyway, if you have any questions about that, like I said, you could ask me in the comment section below, or we have a Discord link in the description. If you want to join our Discord, just click the link and you can join it. We have over 100 people in there so far, so make sure you join it. I think I said join like 3 times now, but join it. Just join it. Just join it. Just join it. Also, we have all the code from today's episode in the description below also, so make sure I said also twice again. Okay, anyway, so just make sure you click the link, bookmark it for future reference, and yeah. So if you liked the video, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and peace.